Calling the meeting to order. Number 2, consent agenda. A, review and approve the minutes of June 10th, 2026.
Make a motion to review and approve the minutes of June 10th.
I'll second it.
We have a motion to second. Any discussion? Word, misspelling. Okay.
Oh, I think that's, I can discuss that with you after. Correct them.
Anything else? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. Review and approve treasurer's warrants.
Make a motion to review and approve treasurer warrants.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Can you read them? Do you want them read?
That's,
read?
it's really a call.
Do you want them read?
Yes, please. Okay, so we have a payroll warrant for $12,256.76. We have an AP warrant for $8,213. A sewer AP warrant for $660.24. A payroll warrant for $12,574.06. A sewer AP warrant for $12,853.74. And a town AP warrant for $7,747.75, for a grand total of $117,305.55.
70,000, not 7,000.
Oh, 70,000, my apologies. Good point. Good catch. I can only blame the rooster.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. Number 3, Jessica Call, Katie Call.
Where would you like to
Right here in the front.
Talk to the camera.
She's like right in the front, please.
Hey, I'm Jessica Cobb. I'm with the Kennebec Valley Council of Governments. I wasn't sure how many packets to print, so I printed 3. I could probably get
Oh,
copies.
yeah.
Who would like?
I'll put them in cabin if you can, we want, and I'll run and make extra copies for you. I'll be right.
This is information from the Housing Opportunity Program. You all probably remember in 2022, they had new legislation out. It was pretty much universally called LD 2003, mandating housing density increases, additional houses on one lot, ADUs, that sort of thing. That legislation has changed several times, and the money for the state at the time of LD 2003 was for very specific changes to ordinances, most of which probably didn't affect Anson or smaller towns that don't have zoning and that sort of thing. But as the legislation has changed and evolved, the Housing Opportunity has started providing funding, and they've broadened the scope of what you can use that funding for. So you all can apply for $10,000 to be used for ordinance revisions. I sat and briefly went through ordinances with Angel, and it looks like, if I remember correctly, the ordinances that you all that would have that would be applicable would be site plan review, subdivision, and a building notification ordinance. There may be others, I just am not super familiar with all of your ordinances. So I think the site plan review and the subdivision could potentially be updated using that money. And I think the building notification potentially could be a bit more, yeah, it's quite old and it could use a little bit of updating. And Angel mentioned that there may be other ordinances that are applicable that, and you all wanted to update your ordinances anyway. So this is an opportunity to apply for and get funding to do that. Does anybody have questions?
And she had mentioned that there's a potential of you guys helping us.
Yes, yep. Mhm.
And that grant would take care of that also.
Correct, yep. Yep, she and I also spoke about possibly you guys might be interested in like an ordinance that would refer to possibly a fee, like a standalone fee schedule, but I think that's something that we'd have to talk about deeper. That could be seen as a way to, ease the path of permitting, so that's something that may fall under that too. But again, without getting into like too much of the granular details, like I said, I'm not overly familiar with your ordinances. So just a cursory look, those three jumped out. I mean, the site plan review, the subdivision, and the building notification one. So, but Angel has my contact information, if anybody has questions after the fact or whatever. I also printed out, I should also mention, so I printed out a guideline type book. It's got colored pages and stuff like that for Angel, and I showed her where it is on the Housing Opportunity website. There has been what's called a fixed bill since that book and a lot of this stuff has been put out. I think essentially the only thing that would affect you all that has been changed is the implementation date. But if you look in the guidebook, there's places that reference areas that may change, so the state doesn't even have a guiding document on this yet. It's a work in progress. Another thing that this new legislation mandates is land use board training, such as planning board, board of appeals, that sort of thing. And again, that's something the state hasn't put guidance out on yet. So as soon as that is available, we will, let all the town officials know and all that. KVCOG is hosting a technical assistance session, and we'll be hosting the folks from the HOP on, I believe it's July 13th, it's a Monday. I think I sent Angel information on that. I think it's at 5:30. There's a Zoom available, but if you all want to come in person, whatever's easiest, or just designate one person to come, however it works best.
What date is that?
It's a Monday, I believe it's the 13th, I'd have to look at my calendar.
And you can use them?
Yes, there's a Zoom link. Yep. Does anybody have any questions? Everybody good?
Can the grant be used for training? For our planning board and
You shouldn't, if it's training that we put on, you wouldn't have to pay for it.
or like MMA doing
If
training?
there's MMA, it probably can, but I think they will likely have, don't quote me on this, I'm not positive, they will likely have other funding available for that sort of thing. That's the type of question that if you came to that technical assistance session, they could answer there. I will do my best to get you an answer on that though, because that is a good question. Anything else? And feel free to reach out to me anytime. I would love to help you all with this, and yeah.
Jessica, thank you for coming.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Number 4, regular agenda, discuss to approve a commercial hauler's license for waste management in the town of Anson.
It's in that separate,
I thought we had already did this.
came across, yeah, I would have thought so too, because when I got it, it said that it was expiring in May, but it came across my email as not being done. So that's why, it's on the agenda, because it needs to be done.
So it is something we've already discussed and we
Well,
just didn't sign it?
it's a renewing thing, so every year they have to be renewed for it. I
Who
believe.
redid that?
Who is that?
Waste management.
For who?
Oh, for waste management?
Yeah, that's the dumpsters, right? The commercial haulers.
Yeah, it's the commercial hauler
Like
stuff.
Tim,
Chris Roy's and Tim,
wasn't it only Chris Roy that hadn't put theirs in?
yeah. There was only one.
Yeah.
Well, the paperwork is in that stack right there, because it came in the mail, saying that it's still.
This one's saying waste management.
That is the one that.
The big,
Oh, maybe not them.
Mhm. And so they sent in the check for it, but it has to be approved before we can take the check and they can have it. So they sent in the check for it, and.
I thought we already did that. And I thought the commercial haulers
I
went
thought
up.
the only one that hadn't done it was Chris
I thought the price went up,
Roy.
right?
Before Nancy, yeah.
Right? So they
It was
got,
supposed to be $150, right?
they got 125
Well, there's, with both checks, because I know they sent a
Yes.
separate check, okay, yeah, because I know that, seemed like they sent a separate one because.
Because the
maybe
next
they-
year, isn't it supposed to be 250?
here, right? You wanna see this?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Because if they need, if it's something that the select board is willing to approve,
I
that
probably
they're paying the difference, we can let them know they have the difference, but I can't do anything until it's approved. So,
Because we upped the prices.
So you said they sent 2 checks?
there's 2 checks there.
One
Yep.
for 25 and one for 1.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last, one for 100 or 125?
One for 25 and one for 100.
Tim's trash and Gregory's disposal
Tim's and Gregory's, that was it.
that was approved. That was April 28th.
That was the only two.
That's the only, that was discussed that meeting.
So we need to approve that one, and is that the correct amount?
And then Chris Roy still hasn't been in. Because they weren't even in. It
No.
was just Chris Roy was the only one that hadn't done it.
I wonder if they have their privately dumpsters.
So who are the 2 haulers?
No, that's only waste management.
This is only waste management.
Mhm.
Timmy and
Gregory's.
Gregory's have done theirs already. Was it 150?
I can't. I'd have to look.
Yours, you were getting there quicker than I was. I could have sworn it was 150 and 250 minutes.
I don't have the minutes
Yeah.
for that. They weren't posted. For April 28th.
Oh, Larry. I guess approve it. Yeah. I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
And if they, with,
With the exception if they owe the other 25.
yeah.
So it's definitely 150, so I need to reach out about that little extra.
That's what we're thinking?
I think it was 150 and then 250 next year because they were trying to make the fee not so much the first year.
Without a big jump. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a motion by Leanne, who's the second?
Me.
Right, thank you.
What's the condition?
That they pay the difference.
But if they need, I would make a motion that we approve that. But I also think that we need to collect another $25.
That's,
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So moved, 5-0. Discussion to approve the town of Anson participating in the KV Cog Household Hazardous Waste Collection Event. You have that one in front of you also, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's in that same spot.
Well, last year I was involved with Anson, and there was no one on hazardous waste here, so they said, don't even bother coming.
And it does cost us,
Oh,
whether
that's
anybody
great.
comes or not, if we participate.
Right.
Well, having
Oh,
the trash days,
Can you pass it over? I thought I gave it to her, it's right there.
I thought we discussed that we would eliminate this if we had
She has it, I thought I had sent it over.
the,
Container,
yeah,
yeah. Because there was a few people inquiring about paint.
correct.
They said we didn't take.
We didn't take that.
Neighbors.
Paint's not an issue anymore, paint can just go. State charges paint companies to take care of it. And there's no lead-based paints anymore.
Let's see if we can toss it. Okay.
So, what's the motion?
And how many people came last year, Larry?
Nah.
None. And how much is the cost?
The paperwork is right there, actually, I don't know.
Set up the foot washing location will be 1,500. Split on participating
1,500 and nobody came? Wow.
I don't think anybody came before.
No one came at all.
The first time they did it, there was a lot of people, but they took it, it was the back gate, I'm not the back gate, but that was like further, I don't know what they call that, was open, and a lot of people took paint, old paint, and stuff like that. I think people cleaned out pretty much. But yeah, nobody came last year. It does,
So do we have a motion to not participate in this event?
or we can,
Or is it just comes across?
cool cleaner, old gas. And I think it includes oil, doesn't it, old oil?
It's not on the list, and it doesn't include
The price is 1,500.
it. 1,500.
Split, well, it's split between the participating towns, correct?
I think it's still got to present it to the town. It's available, but like I said, it was available last year, no one used it.
Then we have, trash day.
They do this in October.
Yeah. It would be limit total spending.
I mean, I
Well,
was,
from previous years, it was.
Just need a motion of some kind, either do it or don't.
but they told you not to participate last year. right?
Yeah, because no one showed up.
Yeah, so.
No one, so. I'll make a motion that we don't approve that town of Anson participate in household hazardous waste because no one the last 2 years showed up with any material.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
For a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of not participating? Opposed, so moved, 5-0. Discuss to approve a policy authorizing the town administrator to apply for certain grants.
This is the part that needs to be signed. So,
explain that.
yeah, so I wanted to let you know, the reason I came up with this policy and I'm presenting it to you was a week and a half ago, I had a grant that came across my desk that had a pretty quick turnaround. It was like, I got it and like within a week and a half, they wanted the information about it. It was a simple grant, I want to say it was $1,000 or $1,500, and it was through the state. If you could show a way that you could do some kind of education within the town for tobacco use or something along those lines, then you could put in for the funds. I couldn't apply for it because by the time I would have gotten it to you guys and gotten approval, the deadline was gonna pass. So rather than me stressing about it, I was like, there's nothing that can be done, but I can create a policy that would give me permission to apply for smaller grants that this might happen with in the future. So the cap that I have on there is 5,000. Anything beyond that obviously would get approval from the select board before even applying. And there are contingencies, so if it requires any kind of in-kind, be it in-kind in volunteer time, if it requires any kind of match, anything at all along those lines, then obviously it has to be approved by the select board first. This is just straight, it's a grant that wouldn't cause any hardship on the town at all, that it gives me permission to apply it, and I still need select board approval before accepting it in the event that we got awarded it.
Doesn't your job description cover that by,
Nope,
it said,
it doesn't give me an amount, it doesn't give me any.
it says administered grants.
Yes, administering grant, that means we've been awarded a grant that the town was awarded, and I'm allowed to make sure that those grants are followed through on and what they're being done. It doesn't give me permission
Assist
to
with funding
apply.
opportunities.
Mhm.
I mean, assist with funding
So
opportunities.
please understand that this is to make sure that I am doing everything in the best interest of the town and the select board. And this is why I'm suggesting this. This covers you guys so that you can say, wait, this is what you were given permission to do, you're not doing it. And I can say, this is what you gave me permission to do, and this is what I'm doing. That's the point of policies, and that's the point of ordinances.
I get that, but I'm not gonna do this every meeting.
No,
Any-
it's not,
any job
it's
duty
not,
that you
it's not,
have a
it's not for
question about.
every meeting. This is something that involves, specific funds that, would have major impact on the town. I think it's very important.
I think it's in the job description, but.
So, does this affect the fire department when they, or the highway, or anybody? When they apply for a grant, I know there was a grant that had to be out before Monday, and needed a signature.
Yes, I got signatures to get approval.
So, how will that protect them? So that they can do theirs?
That is a select board decision. That is a select board decision. I do not have authority to approve fire or highway applying for grants at the moment. And I understand that Leanne thinks it's part of my job description, and if you guys wanna say that you have it in your job description, you have blanket authority to approve grants, then you tell me that and I'll go with that. But that is not what my job description currently says.
If you've applied for a safety grant, what have you done before? Have you ever? Through a municipal?
Yep,
And you just applied for it?
I told the board probably before I did it.
But you just
It was a
applied for it?
courtesy thing. I told the board I didn't just go and do it. I told the board, and it was 5, 6 years now anyway since I've done it.
Done safety.
So the only thing this policy gives me is the ability to apply for something before I tell you about it, so that we don't miss the opportunity. That's the only thing it gives me. The very next meeting, I would be like, guess what, this came up, I applied for this, I didn't miss the deadline, this is what's going on. It prevents me having to send emails like what I sent last week, saying, I need approval before Kim goes in to FEMA to approve this.
You mean on the fire department?
That email that you got last week was the fire department.
Have you ever had to have approval before?
To fill out a grant?
Yeah.
No.
So why do we have?
She filled out the grant, What I got the approval for was for Kim to go in and approve what they applied for. Because it was in Kim's name. And so Kim came to me and she asked for approval to go in and approve it. And I told her, as of right now, I don't feel like I have the right to do that. So you want to tell me at this meeting, so it's recorded, and it's recorded on minutes, that I have a blanket authority to approve grants, then you are absolutely welcome to do that, and I will take that and I will run with it. But at the moment, I don't have that. So I created something to protect the town as well as myself.
So does this cover that? For
This
any type of
would
grants?
cover me applying for grants without approval. That's what this covers. It does not apply for fire or highway, and it doesn't apply for anything over $5,000. It doesn't, so the grant that happened last week has a 5% match on it. Even if it had been under 5,000, I wouldn't have had approval with this policy because I can't approve matches without your approval. I mean, please understand, this is not me trying to be difficult. This is me trying to make sure that the town is protected across the board for all of us.
And honestly, on that AFG grant, the last one we got was big money, is when we did all our SCBA. I don't know, it was buku dollars. I don't know who actually signed off on that, because honestly, I don't know if Tammy was.
It was in 17, right? That would-
I don't know who actually
Jeremy
signed
said
off.
on his letter.
Yeah, because Jeremy initially did that one as well, as he was chief, and then he wasn't chief, and I finished up that grant. I mean, it was already signed and done, I was just doing the tail ends of the finalization, but I don't know who would have signed off on that to get the signature. Who had the stamps
And I can probably go into the system and I can probably figure it out.
yeah.
But the reality of it is that the one that came across the desk on Friday, it's not a huge grant. It was 170, wasn't it? 170, 175, right? It's not a huge grant, but there's a 5% liability against the town if we are awarded that grant. So I was not gonna say, oh yeah, I'm gonna approve 5% coming out of the town budget. I don't have that authority. That's the job of the select board. And now you wanna give me that authority, that's another issue entirely. But at the moment, I don't have that authority.
So my other question is, if it's a 5% cost, wouldn't it come out of the fire department's budget?
I would assume so.
Yes.
Not, if she has it in her budget, she can approve her grant, I guess, as long as she has it in, or a highway, correct?
I would presume so, but still, it's just me, I'd come to the board.
Right.
Because it's
It's
a
a
matching
courtesy.
grant, and I'd say,
Correct.
I was putting into a matching grant, 5, 10, 15, whatever percentage it is,
Right.
and you guys was okay with it.
But you would apply for it.
After I talked to you guys. Because that's, the way I look at it, Brenda, is that's something that I haven't, when I did my budget, I didn't figure that.
Okay.
So that's above and beyond what my budget would be. I mean, I can look at my figures and whatnot, but that's above and beyond what my budget would fall. So that's why I just bring it to you guys so you know what was going on.
Well, what you're asking for with this is just for the town, it doesn't have anything to do with the fire department.
Yeah, no, it could be, but it probably wouldn't have to be, because if it's a fire grant or a highway grant, I'm gonna talk to fire or highway. It's just a grant in general that can benefit the town, gives me the authority to do something about it before I talk to you. That's all that policy is for,
Is to apply for it.
is to apply for it, yeah. And it still, in some regards, ties my hand, because I can't do matching grants or anything.
And most
Without
grants, you can decline, you said you don't want it, right?
Well,
You could.
so always you can't, but so here's the thing, and this is why I'm asking for this. So here's the thing that you have to think about when you're thinking about grants in general, okay? You always have the right to deny a grant. If you apply for a grant and then they come back and then you decide you don't want it, you can always say no. But the reality of it is, some of these entities out there are pretty picky, right? So if they award you money, and then you say, nah, I changed my mind, then the next time they're offering you money, they might not be so willing to give it to you because you changed your mind the first time you applied for it. So I figure rather than putting the town in that position, if we're proactive, then we prevent that problem.
Motion on the floor. Okay, I make a motion to approve the policy authorizing town administrator to apply to certain grants.
Of a maximum of $5,000.
Okay.
Whose
Yeah.
condition is-
Yeah, and it's on the thing, yeah.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. Discuss and approve the town of Anson to participate and authorize Angel McGuire to sign the training site letter of agreement with Advanced Workforce Development of Mature Workers, A4PE.
So Brenda has the agreement in front of her. This is the program that I mentioned at the last meeting that I had come across my desk. I had spoken to a number of people. I reached out to legal and I reached out to our insurance through MMA. And legal said that they're volunteers, so they just have to be supervised, which obviously we would have to do that because you can't have anybody doing stuff that you're not monitoring. Insurance said that we are covered for volunteers. The only thing that isn't covered is they don't get workman's comp because they're not employees. And they said that's pretty typical across the board. The program itself asks you to take them on, authorizing 20 to 25 hours a week. And the whole premise behind it is you're giving them on-site training opportunities to learn municipalities, different things. And the benefit to the town is it gives us an extra set of hands to help cover some of the things that just aren't getting done right now because there's just not enough time in the day for it to be covered. And from what I understand, well, what I was told, I have not spoken to Cheyenne, but what I was told is that Cheyenne and Madison is already doing this program. And so
there's no expense to us.
there is no expense to us. No, that program pays the salary. And so we agree to we agree to their agreement, and then we take on the individual. And they ask that you try and keep them a year or so, but I mean, things being what they are, who knows? I mean, it could be a year that they want to move on to another place. There's hard to know, but I figured any time I can get is still time that we've got an extra set of hands to help us out.
Do you have a list of what you would have them do?
I can tell you right off the top of my head the major things that need to be done. We have a number of documents that need to be filed in the order and in this where they need to go that are not. Sharon herself was filing voter cards the other day because it's something that doesn't get done on a day-to-day basis. Our code enforcement currently at the moment, whenever he needs to find anything, the way you would hope that land cards would be filed, they'd be filed by map and lot. So anything that's done on that piece of property, if they get a plumbing permit, if they get an electrical permit, if they get permission to build a house, it would all be in that folder under map and lot. Well, the way everything is filed here in the town, it's filed by name and date. So you have to hopefully know who owned the property way back when it was done, or you have to know what the date was that it was done. So when Jeff is trying to go back and look at all the different things that he can't, and not only that, but all of the property tax cards should be available online, and none of them are. So anytime anybody calls for a property card, the girls have to stop what they're doing, they have to go and they have to sort through our files to find the property card, scan it, so that they can email it to whoever has requested that, because we don't have them online. And so those are just 3 of the things right off the top that need to be done, that are going to take a lot of man hours that we don't have on a day-to-day basis to do. And so it would get done a little at a time, which is part of the reason why some of the policies and ordinances are not up to date.
Aren't we just in a new, we voted on to do this new evaluation program with the mats and everything's supposed to be?
Not mats.
Not mats?
They did include, when I wasn't on the board, but
Yeah.
when I sat,
But we
either
have,
bit included maps.
but we're having them update the books and.
Is that the iWork program that somebody was talking about?
It's
The assessment.
Oh, the assessors.
they're supposed to go and update all the properties.
Yeah, the
Oh, you're talking about the
reevaluation.
re-eval. No,
Yeah.
that's a totally different thing.
But at some point, they should be putting something on Trio, I would think.
Yeah, that's for the re-eval, because I hear the town's really behind on that. But that's very different from what I'm talking about.
So you're thinking only a year, because you generally, like,
This
Okay.
program, they.
48 months sometimes.
Yeah, no, it could be, and I'm aware of that. But I have no doubt that if there's an issue where we end up where we can't find work for them, then I can let them go, okay, you know what? We don't have anything else for you to do. I don't see that being a problem anytime in the near
Who's
future.
gonna do the supervising of this?
Ultimately, that will be my job. Yeah, now, is it possible that Kim will have stuff that they'll need help with? Yes, and she'll explain what needs to be done. Supervising in general would be on me. And because they're still volunteers, so you still have to have quality control. You have to make sure it's being done correctly.
I'll make a motion to accept this, but that it clearly is under the, I don't know, let me say, some assumption or the approval, is that it is not assumed that eventually when the funding runs out, that this is not a backdoor way of getting an employee in here automatically, because we've already just went through this, and that this does not automatically assume future funding or any obligation to hire this person, because number 3 does say that a participant should be considered for any or in all the job openings. And that person
And if we
would
have
be-
an opening, that's different. We
And
don't
that-
have openings.
No, but once the funding ends, can I have a second?
Oh, yes.
So I can keep talking. Because once the funding ends, they do strongly want you to keep a person on. I have been in
I can,
employment where they want you to do that, and then they want you to assume that salary. And granted, it's 25 hours a week or 20, but then there is that assumption that you will keep a person.
well, the only thing I can say is they can make whatever assumptions they want. At the moment, we don't have an open position.
We don't.
And it could very well be that we never will. And if that's the case, then there's nowhere for them to go. And the gentleman that I spoke to, his name is Daniel, who runs this program, understands that this is not a position that we are looking to fill long-term. This is a position that I'm willing to help them train and help us get ahead and help the town by not incurring an additional cost.
And I'm also at this point, down the road at this point.
Any other questions? Do you understand what's being done?
Absolutely.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We already have a second.
Or have a second.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. Discuss, this is for E, this discussion to approve Angel to sign a letter of intent, supplemental and dependent life insurance benefits to add the benefit to be offered to a volunteer basis town employees. Okay.
So currently, the town, as part of the benefit package that's offered, offers life insurance for the employee, but it doesn't offer for dependents or a spouse as part of the benefit package. So when I spoke to Kim and was like, and it also doesn't allow you to increase it. So the town covers what they cover of your salary and that's it. But most insurances will allow you at your own expense to incur more, to accrue more. So you pay the extra interest yourself. So if you want 2 times your salary or 3 times your salary, or you want to cover your spouse should something happen to your spouse, or cover a child should something happen to the child, our insurance doesn't offer that. And so I reached out to MMA and I asked them, how do we go about doing this? And they said, you get the select board to approve you signing a letter, giving you permission to add it on as a benefit to the employees at the employee's expense. And so it doesn't affect the town at all, it just has to be approved to add it on as one of the benefits that's offered to the employees.
So the added supplement doesn't cost us either.
It doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't cost the town anything, it comes out of the wage of the employee, should they choose to get it or not.
May I ask a question? May I ask a question? With that, in the future, will that be, like Leanne was saying,
Something that would change? No.
that would change so that we as taxpayers would end up paying for all of that benefit?
No, it wouldn't actually, it's never ever that way. It's always that whatever entity decides this is what they're covering, and then you can agree that they are allowed to ask for more, but they have to cover that extra themselves. That's the way that they're written. And so the only way it would ever change is if the town or the select board at some point said, okay, instead of us applying 1 times the rate, we've decided we want to give them 2 times or 3
Well,
times.
unfortunately,
Nobody's-
that's happened.
Exactly, right.
So that's why-
Nobody's really, the likelihood that anyone's ever going to want to approve that is like minuscule to nothing, right? So I understand your concern, but that's something that can't be changed without approval, right? So all I'm asking is for approval to add the option to the benefit packet, so that if employee chooses to get it, they can agree to get it at their expense.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion for that. I second it.
We have a motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved 5-0. 5, updates and past items. A, accountant.
Okay, so my first official day after I came back from my trip, I had a resident come in and let me know about the fountain situation, and I told him, I don't know anything about this, I don't know where it's at, so can you give me a little bit of time to at least do some research? And then I have spoken to some of the select board members, I've spoken to some of the residents, I spoke to Jeff Drew, who was our code enforcement. What I have found out to this point, we have not found the paperwork verifying that we for sure own the fountain itself, but we have verified that all the property where the fountain is placed is now town property. At one point in time, it was not. There was a section that was owned by the town, and there were 2 other sections that were owned by residents, and that has changed now, and so that whole, I've never actually been over there, so I apologize, I don't know if it's a little late for I'm not really sure what it is, but that whole thing belongs to the town now. So it is unlikely that the fountain doesn't belong to the town, but we haven't actually found the paperwork verifying that the fountain really is property of the town. I do know that it's still in the barn of the resident who has been helping deal with it. And we also have budget that was approved at the town meeting to take care of some of the work over there that needed to be done. And that's kind of where we're at the moment. Sharon offered to help find the paperwork for the fountain itself, but we haven't located it.
So my understanding, the fountain was donated.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
okay.
You probably know more about
Yeah, well, the fountain was donated, I've been involved in putting it in, taking it out for, at a time. We have dug up the electrical line, and it has been backfilled. I only authorized the excavator to go there, I do not know the particulars, but that part of it has been done. I think there needs to be an electrician there. Peter Dow is the one that's been heading up.
I was trying to remember his name and I couldn't remember.
Yeah, well, Peter's the one that can tell you what stage it's at, because I asked him to line up, dig safe, the electrician, and just tell me when you need an excavator and I'll have it there. So we did that a week ago or so, and that's all I know right now.
So the new line is in there, you're just waiting.
The conduit is in one piece. I don't remember what they said, but it's in, oh, you know,
Talked to Peter tonight and he
Okay.
said that the pole that we're getting the power for the fountain on shifted, so that's what pulled the line out and ultimately broke the line, I guess. And he is waiting to meet up with Lance. He spoke with him last week, and at some point this week, maybe next week, he's supposed to be meeting up with him to test it, to see if there's any electricity going to it. So that's as far as Peter's got.
So that's good, it just needs to be connected again on the.
It's just gonna be tested, and if it's,
Tested, okay.
I mean, I don't know as far as that goes, he doesn't know either. He said he's gonna talk to Lance, the electrician, or Danny Burns. They work together, kind of.
So you can keep us informed on that?
We, together,
How-
yeah.
Doing it good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Campground Road, resident driveway concern.
Okay, so with the new pavement that's been going in, we had a resident who reached out, relatively irate the first time. Thankfully, we've been able to smooth that out because basically, to make it really simple, the road in front of his house was like this. So they made it like this, and in the process of doing that, from his driveway to get onto the road created a huge lip. And so he called because he's like, I can't get my vehicles in and out, it's affecting my income, I need to know what to do. I wasn't willing to make any rash decisions that was gonna cost the town money without knowing what was going on. So I told him, please, we'll do what we can to help you with the situation while I reach out to legal and find out what the legal ramifications are. So legal got back to me last week, and he has indeed let us know that it is the town's responsibility to ensure that the residents can get in and out of their property. He said that is at the discretion of the select board, how they want to handle that. So the two options truly are, more often than not, when a resident has a paved driveway, then there is an apron that's put in that goes from the road to the paved driveway so that there's no issue going from the one to the other. When you don't have paved, then they usually put gravel and rock to alleviate that. Artie has been working diligently trying to put as much in there as he can. I spoke to the resident on Friday and he said it was better, but he was still having issues with his truck. And so I actually spoke to Artie today about it and was like, we need to do more. But the reality of it is we really only have two options from a town perspective, and so you as a select board, it's kind of your call. Whether Artie continues to incur gravel and dirt expense to ensure that all of our residents can get in and out, or whether we decide that we're going to incur the expense of putting aprons at every one of these driveways, that could be an issue. which would be even heftier expense. And so that's the information I have for you right now, and Artie had some info that we spoke about, he was gonna let you all know.
I took, put gravel in there, and I've gone back to the property line, the right away of the town. And it slopes down in, and it's not a steep slope or anything like that. So the only other option is now to take a string and string it back into his dooryard. But his dooryard is downhill from the road. It was downhill from the other road. Just when we brought the road back to grade, instead of the road being out of shape and like an A, now it's back up to where it's supposed to be. And I couldn't tell you how far I gotta go back in the driveway so he can get in and out. So I've gone to the town right away, and I thought it was pretty good. But to pay it, one contract gave me a price of $1,200, and the other contract gave me a price of $1,400. And there's at least 4 other driveways on that road. Once they see it, it's gonna be a monkey see, monkey do it. And we haven't even hit the Horseback Road yet. And I know there's 5, 6 on the Horseback Road. So, out of, in the Beesville Road, we haven't even begun to get on that one yet, they're just digging it now, so. It's gravel, and I put in the crushed gravel from Mattingly's, it's got asphalt, concrete, and gravel in it, it's all crushed together, and it packs right down as smooth as this floor. I would say that we probably ought to take him when he's home during the day sometime. Select board member, or 2 select board, whatever, and myself, go up with a string and see what you folks want to do. Because I've gone right now to the limit of the town. Right. So,
There must be a certain percentage, grade percentage that is allowed. I know when you put entrances into the road, you have to meet a certain percentage. And if the town raised the road, they've got to fix the percentage back to whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, and I don't know. And whether it would go onto the person's property or not, I would think it would have to go, as you were saying, with a string to make it whatever that percentage is.
all I can tell you, Darryl, I've talked to 2 paving contractors, and they both do paving for the state. And the most they go in for an apron on a gravel driveway is a foot. And
But
the gravel, the gravel, they bring it in at a slope, and they bring it down to the right of way. And the engineer that I've talked to said sometimes they don't mind, and sometimes they don't want us to go past that right of way. So
That's-
I've done
I
done what the town is legally has to do. I've gone to our right of way, and before I go past that right of way, I need you guys to okay.
Well, it's just, obviously before the road was raised, not raised, corrected,
Correct.
it was fine before. And if they created a problem and you go in, I don't know how far, 10 feet, well, 10 feet, and it probably should be 15 or 20.
I've gone 14 feet, 6 inches.
Is that what you went? I don't know. I know we fix driveways all the time. In order to make a slope right, sometimes you have to go further, because when you got point A, point B, when you got a short distance, it's going to be steep. But to do it correctly, there's got to be a percentage, a grade percentage, that is allowed and not allowed.
I agree with
doesn't
you.
have to make sure that people can get in and out, like
They
that's
can
not
get in
part
and
of the
out.
contracting.
What he has,
I'm asking.
no, he has a little boy boat trailer, and he says he can't make it in and out of his driveway. Well, before I go any further, I need their approval, because I just can't go ahead and do it on my own.
So, I'm assuming the lawyer meant that whatever he was able to do before, he should be able to do now.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah, he can continue, I mean, basically what he is recommending to the select board is that you pick and say, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna put the apron, or we're gonna give him permission to continue doing what he's doing to ensure that the resident is satisfied and can get in and out without any issues. Because he was like, and this is exactly what he told me, he's like, he has the right to come back and say, you didn't do what you were legally obligated to do, and I'm gonna take you to court. I would like to hope that wouldn't happen, but he has that right, and so that's what legal is telling us. You have to understand that he has the right to do that, and where that would go, who knows, but ultimately, I would like to hope that we would do what was right, not because we were worried about being sued, but because it was just what was right to do.
Well, I guess if he can't get his equipment in and out like he used to, then we're obligated to fix it so we can.
All I'm saying is that's what we needed. I needed to give you the information, and then you need to give Artie the okay to do it.
Because not everybody's gonna have that equipment.
No, yeah.
Right. It's just gonna be normal, powerful.
I make a motion for Artie to pursue what he's doing, and, for the benefit of the town. If you constitute going back a little more, then he has the right to, do the job right. I'd be happy to go over to you with the string line and do it with Artie.
Okay, tomorrow morning.
6 o'clock.
Well, we only have 5 drivers left on that road's done.
Okay,
So, if
4 o'clock?
that's fine with me, I'm up at 4.
So, is this going to be an ongoing issue with this particular driveway? Not any of the others there, but this particular
Shouldn't
driveway?
be. Because once it gets so that he can get in and out with his boat trailer, which his boat trailer set, one of them is setting up in the other place where it just backs off the edge of the road onto his lawn, so. I mean, take string and go in to where that is a good, smooth, grade. Should be all right.
And you'll be able to discuss this with him?
Yeah, I'll be there,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna drive at 5:30 in the morning, so whenever.
Will he be up? Probably ought to coordinate with him.
Well,
Then he opens it in.
Yeah, Angel has his.
With the resident, yeah. Yeah, and I do know he travels, so all I can do is call, because he travels for work, he drives the truck, so.
Make sure you snap some pictures, please.
Second, that
What is the legal off the road, Artie,
Right away is 24 foot 9 inches from center,
from center?
and it's almost 15 feet, I call it 14.6, but it's just,
Off the hot top?
right. Well, it's only 10 feet, 14 feet, 9 inches off the hot top, because the lane, hot top lane is 10 feet.
So what was your motion?
Say it again. To, have Artie do what he's doing to make it right. He has to go the extra length, he has to go the extra length, in order for him to get his machinery in and out, trailers or whatever.
That's without payment.
That's what I'll pay.
Is it a paid driveway?
No. No.
Okay, so we have a motion. We have a second.
Leanne seconded.
I'm sorry. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. 5C, Adobe Creative Cloud.
So this was something I brought up at the last select board meeting, it was tabled for additional information. I tried to print something earlier today and it wouldn't print, because they were offering a discount. They were offering a discount, a crazy discount, of like $250, for the year, provided you didn't cancel before July 7th. It was kind of a ridiculous amount, but every time I tried to print it, it wouldn't let me print it. I think they didn't want it in writing. Because every time I went to print it, the screen went away. I have confirmed that from our BTS contract, the only Adobe that we are paying for through that contract is the one that is being used by the deputy chief, and that is the Adobe Acrobat. And then I have confirmed, separate from the BTS contract, that Maddie in the front office pays for Adobe Pro and Adobe Express. And so the original cost, it seems like, was $250, and they pay an additional $10.50 a month for that. And I was pretty sure that I printed out the receipt for that. Maybe I didn't. And so those are the contracts that we currently have at the moment for Adobe. I am still proposing that we get an Adobe Pro. I have made the recommendation before that I don't see the rationale for paying for Express through BTS, simply because you could pay for Enterprise. It allows them to control it, but if there's any issues, Adobe is going to be the ones that have to fix it. BTS is not going to fix it. It's an Adobe product, so Adobe is going to be the one that fixes it. So it was definitely less expensive to purchase the Creative Cloud as an individual consumer. And so I'm still recommending that that's what the town does. And if we did that, then we could use the Creative Cloud and not pay for the ones that we are currently paying for. Because the Creative Cloud covers the two that Maddie is paying for right now. Because it's all part of the bundle.
And you said Maddie's paying for it.
Well, it's coming out of the budget for the office, yeah. So it's not out of her pocket, it's out of the office expense. And so,
And you're not talking about the one Jeremy has?
no, this has nothing to do with Jeremy's. Jeremy's is being run through BTS, through the computer program, and this has nothing to do with his.
So you're saying buy a new one and cancel the one?
Yeah, I'm saying that we get Creative Cloud, and then with Creative Cloud, we have the ability to do the two that we are currently paying for, because we're paying for Pro and we're paying for Express, and Pro and Express are part of the Creative Cloud subscription.
And how much was that gonna be?
Um,
Don't know.
I want to say when I first brought it to you, it was just under $900. The one that they were offering today, when I pulled it up, it was saying $250. If I can get it for $250, I'm absolutely going to get it for $250. But when I first went in and looked for it to get an individual subscription, it was just under $900 for the year.
And how will that affect Maddie's work that she's doing if you eliminate hers? And
Well, it's not going to affect it because she'd be able to use the Creative Cloud. So the two that are being used, it's just a matter of us figuring out where we're going to put it so that it can be used. And so maybe what we end up doing is we end up just upgrading hers to Creative Cloud, and then when I need to do something, I work off of her station.
Yeah, I think it was 800 and something.
Yeah, it was 800 or something, it was just under $900.
The other one was a lot more.
Yeah, I thought I had grabbed the papers that I had at the last meeting, but I didn't grab it.
so how much is Pro and Express?
They paid $249 for Pro, and they paid $10.58, I believe, every month for Express.
I make a motion that we go with the Creative Cloud that includes the Adobe Pro and Express in that package, that you can do whatever you do with it.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion?
At $250?
No, you would need to approve it at the original price, only because I couldn't even get it to print it. So if I can go in and it'll let me do the $240, I will absolutely, because I'm all about saving money. But I can't guarantee that when I go in there tomorrow, they're gonna give me that same price. I couldn't even, it wouldn't even let me print it. I mean, that's how they were trying to like narrow it.
And the other question is, to our computer people, are they gonna charge us a fee for taking it out of our program?
We're not taking it out of their program because they are not in charge of, the one that Madison currently uses is not under the contract. The only one that is under the BTS contract is the one that's being used by the fire department. Because I reached out to them and verified. And they sent me an email saying that the only one that they have under their contract is the one that's being used by fire. The one that Madison has on her system, she has had since 2024. It's been something that she's been going, because she went in and checked it today.
Yeah, I saw your hand, there was.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure, I just went online on the Adobe site itself for the Creative Cloud Pro is $290.27. And that's with a 45% off currently. And then it looks like the strike through for, that's probably for the first year. It is $528, and I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit more than that for continuing years.
And that's for the pro, that's not even Creative Cloud.
It is Creative Cloud.
Oh, that's the
Pro.
one you were looking at.
That's
Oh.
the Pro.
Oh, got it.
Yes. I'm not able to see.
So maybe, yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for, is I can get it for a discounted price, even if I just get it for the year and then we see how it works. that's
Right.
fine. But I want it approved for the full price just to be safe.
Yes.
Because I'll save the money if I can, but if I can't, then my hands are tied again until the next meeting and I say, guess what, I couldn't get that price and now I need you to approve it again.
This comes with Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator, Adobe Premiere, and Acrobat Pro. So I don't know if that is anything that you're already utilizing.
Yeah, the whole point of Creative Cloud is that it bundles all the Adobe products into pretty much one thing.
I just thought I'd give you that information.
Thank you.
Maybe cheaper just to upgrade, like you said, Maddie's.
Well, and that's why I was saying, maybe if we can just upgrade hers, but it really will depend, because if it's one of those things where we can only get the discount if we do a new one and then we don't. So it's just a matter of us playing around and looking at it and
Is
figuring
that
it out.
something in the future that you can add and use it to, if some reason we get rid of our Adobe at the fire department, that can get, you know?
So what I was looking at, because this was a question that he had when he was like, well, when I did business, right? Usually you can add separate members and they'll give it to you for a cheaper price. At the moment, Adobe pretty much has capitalized the market. And so you buy the enterprise and then they'll charge you the same price to buy the second enterprise. So they don't really, now, is it possible down the road they will realize that they're losing customers? Maybe, but at the moment, they've kind of got a monopoly going, and so I can't guarantee it. But if we have it and it's something, then, you know.
And with AI, stuff's happening all the time,
Oh.
companies are coming up all the time,
Yeah.
that's gonna do away with that.
And my next question is, if we buy it at this price, what is it price for years to come?
We would have to see what it is next year. I mean, I'm asking for approval for 1 year. It comes back up and then we decide if we keep it or not. I can't ask for what we're gonna do a year and a half or 2 years from now, because I don't know what's gonna happen a year and a half or 2 years from now. I can figure it into the budget and say, this is what it was approved, and guess what? It's gone up $100, I'm just gonna get extra $100, but I don't see in the future, so I can't tell you what's gonna happen in a year. I can tell you based on the way that everything is in this world, it will be more money next year, because that's how everything is. Nothing ever goes down.
So you're still investigating whether upgrading Maddie's is a better price or buying this one? is a better
Yes, so
price?
what I'm asking for is approval to buy at the full price. That's what I'm asking for, with the understanding that if I go in and I can upgrade Maddie's and it costs us less, then I'll do it that way. If not upgrading Maddie's and just getting rid of Maddie's and getting a new one could be less, I will do it that way. When push comes to shove, I'm gonna try and save the money for the town, because it's just a win-win across the board. But I can't guarantee any of that until I actually try and do it.
So we have a motion.
And you did say that this was in the budget to do.
We do have the money in the budget. I'm gonna verify that from last time.
We had a motion, you had a second.
We already have. That was the further discussion. Right? So, all in favor of statement that Angel made? All in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. The fee schedule.
This is a pretty simple update. I met with the planning board, I met with KB Cog, and we're moving forward, understanding that we need an ordinance that collaborates with the fee schedule. We do have a few fees that are addressed in other ordinances, not a lot, but there are a few. And so when push comes to shove, we need an ordinance that basically says that the other ones, until they're updated, would be nullified until, because of the fee schedule that's being implemented. And so planning is looking into it. KB Cog has said that they work with us, and that's how I met Jessica, and that's why she was in front of you today. So that's kind of as far as we've gotten with that. But can I add something else on here that's separate from this fee schedule but has to do with planning? Because I realized I didn't put it on here when I was reading it earlier. And that's data centers was also something that should have been right next to the fee schedule. So I found out that the moratorium that the state was trying to put in place was voted down. So the recommendation that KB Cog had for us was that we could do a moratorium here in the town. You are allowed to do moratoriums, and you can do them for 180 days, and then you can renew it for another 180 days. And their rationale was that would give us plenty of time to figure out exactly how the voters and everyone felt about it, to determine at that time whether we wanted an actual ordinance regarding them one way or another. And so that was what KB Cog suggested. They actually sent me over an email with one that they were working on with another town. And so I got that right before the meeting, actually. So I'll send it over to you guys, but I just wanted to give you an update on that as well.
So, that is something the voters do or something that we do?
If it's an ordinance, it has to be approved by the voters.
The moratorium.
I'll be honest and say, I'm gonna say that I think it has to be by the voters because the one for state got voted down. So, I cannot swear on a Bible about this, so I will absolutely confirm it. But because the state one got voted down, my guess is that it's probably a mass voter thing as well. But the advantage of a moratorium is it's pretty, you can put it in place and then it can go away, right? So you can get all the information to make a very informed decision one way or another, rather than rushing and putting something in place and then being like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that, kind of thing, so.
I'll set those two subjects. 5E, sidewalk and ADA compliance.
So if Artie's okay with this, I actually want to have him talk about it, because he's been talking he's been talking to state about it, so, do you mind? He's like, gee, thanks.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
Okay, yeah, it has to be, all the work is done is up to the town. And they have to have it engineered, and you have to go by the state rules and regulations. You can't just drop it into a street, which like Packard's Drive up there, You just can't bring the sidewalk up on one side and then put a crosswalk, because you can't put pedestrians into a street. That's why we had to put the sidewalk in by the school up here, because it just dropped into the street. You gotta have a sidewalk so that you can go on the sidewalk, get down to where they need to be. So we'd have to go from where the sidewalk stops at Cam Davis, all the way up and then down Package Drive to the apartment complex there. And
So
yeah.
only on one side?
On one
We all
side of the
only
road.
on one side?
Yep, and that would be up to the state to determine which side of the road they'd like to have it on. So I mean, we're gonna pay for it, but the state's gonna tell us what we need to take and do.
And then Gary, I think Gary was the name of our resident, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, I did remember, thank you. I'm trying really hard. So the suggestions that Gary had made, we all were like, these are really great suggestions. So the state said that they'll give us the signs, but our highway has to put them in. And they said as far as the speed reduction, they will not do it just like that. They have to do a study. At which point I said, so what's that gonna cost the town? And he said that they could do the study and it wouldn't cost us anything, but they said that they can't just do it just like that. They have to actually do a study on it to determine if it is in the best interest of the town. And that came up, once again, he's like, well, if there was a sidewalk over there, then it would be more apparent that this has become part of the village rather than it being an outlying part of the town. So he was really like, if you put a sidewalk, it would be so much easier. It's like, you know, you're gonna give us the money for the sidewalk, because that's where the problem comes in. So I basically, I asked him, what do you need? And he's like, basically, I just need a letter saying that the select board is good with us doing that. And so if you give me permission, I'll type up a letter and get it to them, and then they can do the study that they're saying that they have to be able to do.
So probably won't even do the double line. They'll leave it aside.
They won't do anything, they won't mess with the speed, they won't mess with no passing, they won't do anything without the study, yeah.
Wow.
Yep, it's, you know, it's a state thing, you know, that goes.
So are they gonna pay that?
Yep.
Because they've already got the markings for the new
They're gonna
center lines.
Yeah, well, they have to have them for the paving crew, so they can transfer from one side of the road to the other, so when they pave over it, they don't forget what was there. And they're gonna start right down here at the bridge.
And you know that,
Yep.
because in the past month, there's been some discussion on that the state doesn't have the money to fulfill their obligation to DOT, that they're losing hundreds of millions from the feds because they're not coming up with the match.
Well, when,
I didn't know whether that, because I saw where they're gonna mark it.
yeah, no, all that I'm going on is what I was told when they did 201A to Solon, then they was doing 43 over through towards Athens, and then this was gonna be the next one right through here.
The news report came out in between that. So, I'm just asking whether you've heard any updates.
I haven't got no email or when they're gonna take started.
They're actually digging it up out there, replacing culverts.
Yeah, I saw that, yes, yeah. But to replace the culvert's a lot cheaper than paving the whole thing too, so maybe they had the money to. I'm just putting out what I saw.
No, I'm going on the
Okay.
email that I got from
I hope so, because this is terrible. But
well, they need to, I'm just,
okay.
there's a hog truck right up here too.
You want that, Phillips?
I just, if we want a study done, I need approval from the board to write something up and send it to them.
Well, it's not gonna cost us anything.
That's what I was told, it wouldn't even cost us anything. They just needed to know that the town was in favor of them doing the study.
Need a motion or just an okay?
I make a motion that we give the okay for them to do a study in that section. And they are fully aware that it's disabled people, but
They are, and he didn't seem very hopeful that the signs would make a difference at all, but he said he was willing to give them to us, so.
There's a motion, there's a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved 5-0. Number 6, other business. A, items from the board.
It's kind of brought to my attention that you guys are having problems with your copy.
Yes, I'm trying to deal with it.
With the copier.
Yeah, so the copier that we have in the office it probably needs to be buried. I mean, I went to make copies and you notice how long I was gone. And sometimes we have to turn it off and then we wait and we turn it back on and hope it will work. I found the contract that we had, reached out to the salesperson. That salesperson no longer works for Kyocera. So I reached out to somebody else I knew, haven't heard back from them. And I was gonna reach out to somebody else today and then I ran out of time on the day, so. Because it's still under contract with Kyocera, and we need an updated one. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So we're paying so much for the contract then. It's still on contract. Should be able to get it on.
So you can dig a hole.
Well, they'll end up taking it. They'll take it, and then they'll do what they do, and they'll pawn it off on someone else.
Right.
That's the way it works.
I understand that was a used one.
Yes, and we will get it, I guarantee you we will get someone else's used one. That's the way it works.
Yeah, we can't.
So, but if we could get another used one that actually doesn't die every time we're trying to make copies, that would be really beneficial.
Anything else from the board?
Yeah. Are you gonna line Prospect?
Huh?
Are you gonna put lines on Prospect Road?
Yep, on the corners.
Please. It was pretty rough.
Hey, you know something I was told?
Huh?
Ever since I've been a kid this side, Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, I
It all
was just,
takes
I didn't
time.
know when they were coming, but
It
if,
won't be until they're all done hot topping.
yeah, but I can't remember if we, did we have lines on there before? Okay,
All the sharp curves,
Okay.
I always put lines on.
okay. It was pretty hairy up there.
I have one more question for the Spectrum. Has anybody reached out to see why the telephone lines die when you're talking on them?
No, I didn't know the telephone line stopped when we were talking on it.
I was talking with Kim called about coming in to sign stuff, and all of a sudden she was gone.
Oh, okay.
And she called back, she goes, well, this happens quite often.
Oh.
I think they.
Is it just Kim's line, or is it?
I don't know. Well, I asked Natalie today what it was. She said it was.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, I don't know, I
I
was,
assume expecting
okay.
more.
Yeah, I can reach out to him, I didn't realize it was an ongoing problem. So, I knew that her phone had died the other day, but I thought it was because of the weather, so.
I do have one more thing. The employee's handbook, it was updated on January 13th, 2026, and it was signed by all of us except for me. I know, but, and the changes were in it.
Nice.
So,
So you're gonna give me copies of the signed one, because I don't have, the only ones I have
yeah,
are not
well,
signed.
Nancy had emailed that to me like 2 weeks or a week prior before she got done,
Okay,
so.
nice. Cool.
She
I don't know if you
emailed that to you,
Thank you.
So there were
because she
changes.
made other changes.
Apparently.
yes, that
Well, there were-
was changed. Those are the updates.
I
There's some spelling and some other stuff.
I went through that. I went through that, and the changes, I were for in December, there were changes, and then in January, and those changes are in that.
Okay,
Because
because
it was the holiday pay
the highway crew
and
never
the
got any.
benefits. Huh?
We didn't get any that was signed,
Oh,
and I
okay.
asked her for them, and we still haven't got
But
one.
those, because I went back on the meetings to see after the
Because then I
last
usually
meeting
have
about that.
firefighters sign home, if there's any changes. And she goes, oh yeah, the changes been made, I got to sign on here, and I'm like, well, can you email it to me, or print me off 16 to 20 of them?
Why I asked is because we didn't have any to sign that had signatures on it, and she kept telling me she was gonna get it, and she you never did take the gift.
The original signatures would be nice.
Yep, correct.
But, at least I know what you have.
It does have about the holiday and the benefits and the other things that were brought up at that meeting.
Okay, I haven't seen it, so
But since you brought up.
I have a
the
copy
handbook-
if you want one. Sorry.
I'm gonna get a copy because we all made a sign.
Since you did, under holidays, somehow, they got a holiday that was not in that handbook or the previous handbook or the previous handbook before that. Good Friday.
I gotta look at that.
You wanna look at it again? Is Juneteenth in there?
Yes,
Juneteenth is, but
And my other question
I was like,
is,
what holiday did they get?
July, all of a sudden Nancy sent out they were gonna have training on that Friday, and then the training got moved because the state, and then it was an email that went out, oh, by the way, we have Good Friday off.
it's not in
What's that day?
here. No,
It was on Friday, actually, that one. It's not on there.
it's New Year's Day, Martin Luther, President's Day, Patriots' Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Indigenous Peoples' Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So do we need to change it again?
No,
So what's
Well-
Good Friday?
Good Friday is Easter, before Easter.
Oh.
Usually Catholics.
Oh.
I don't know that many people have that holiday anymore. You have Fridays already.
I know.
You're Friday.
Every day's a good Friday.
Every day's a Good Friday, yeah.
They have to fall on a Friday because the day before, or the day after.
I'm trying to find it, hold on. But that was an email that went out.
Yes, they are.
Half a day holiday, I believe it was.
Take all kinds of days if you want to.
I want to remind you that we observe the Good Friday half-day holiday, which is Friday, April 3rd. Maddie has posted the notice on the website and the e-signs. We will close at noon tomorrow.
People said it was observed in the holidays, it wasn't.
Oh, I don't think it said it was observed. She told us.
She just said they're going to observe it.
They're going to
They
observe
took
it.
half a day, apparently.
And then I asked for a copy, that's when I asked for a copy of the personnel policy. And I got the January one. And observed. Observed,
I still have.
because that was not in there.
Oh, now I have the door, and my copy's working.
Yeah, and it wasn't, it's not.
It's not listed, nor was it listed in the previous one that I had.
So didn't you ask me last week, last meeting, whether everybody had to re-sign that?
Yeah, and,
And I didn't know, because I
Yeah.
didn't remember.
so I went and looked, I had to go back to my emails from Nancy, because I had to print it off, and that's what I did this past week, because I printed some off, and I'm like, wow, we do have a sign on, because I figured once it got to that page, there was gonna be no signature on it, but it is signed, but it was.
My personal file probably has one.
So do we give that out to everybody, or we just put it
Yeah,
available?
I'll
do a
put
sign-off
copies and make
sheet?
sure everyone's signing.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a sign sheet on it, the employee signs it, and they pass it back in, it goes to her,
And it goes in their file.
in the file. So I need 4.
Anything else from the board? Okay, 6B, items from the administrator.
So, I think I pretty much covered all the stuff that I needed to cover, just a couple of things that are not, ready to go anywhere yet, and so just an update. Nancy apparently had been meeting with, or had been trying to meet with a couple of municipal websites to try and figure out what the cost would be to move. The town is currently with Wix, which is, Wix is it's a decent platform. It's not designed for municipalities at all, and it is in no way ADA compliant, which in 2028 will be a problem for the town because the feds have regulated that all municipalities have to be ADA compliant for 2028, April, I think, of 2028, is what the date is. So she had a couple that apparently had been emailing her, so I followed up with the two that I had emails about, and I met with both of them this week. And that's all I've done, is met with them. And then, so once I get all the data, I probably will meet with at least one more so that we have a good, well-rounded amount to look at to determine, what's in the best interest of the town as far as what we can do. There are things that Wix doesn't do or offer that municipal websites do offer. One of which is, we've been talking a lot about updating ordinances and policies, so the thing that's really nice about municipal websites is once you put a policy or an ordinance up on the website, you can go in and you can update them and you can make changes and it tracks it in the website. So then you can see this is when it was put in, this is when there was a change made, this is what the change was. It's a very distinct thing that's for like government municipalities that standard businesses don't have to worry about, that kind of stuff. So I do want to reach out to one more just so we have a good amount of potential of what we can look at. I would say if there's one out there that you know of, that you've seen or you like, that you think would be, let me know. I mean, I'm not opposed to meeting with more than one, but I think 3 is a good number at least to start. And then I'll bring the data to you and let you make a decision as to where we're going with it. And then the other thing that is becoming a concern, the girls had mentioned it to me, and I'll be honest and say they mentioned it, and then I didn't really do anything about it. And then today I was at a meeting with someone at my desk as ants were crawling across my desk, and I went, oh, they did say that we have a bug problem. And so the history I got was it had been approved once, it got approved again, neither time was anything done about it. I want to do something about it, but I wasn't here when those approvals went through. I don't have any amount of what it would cost because I just had the ant crawling across the desk today. And so I'm just asking, for an amount. I don't know, most exterminators don't cost a fortune to come in and exterminate a building. And so I'd say if you have an idea of what it might look like, then maybe you could give me approval to that amount, and if I can't find someone under that amount, then I'll keep looking, so that I can actually do something about and this has nothing to do with the mouse droppings I found, this is only the creepy crawly mice and spiders, not mice, it's the ants and spiders and that kind of stuff in the building.
Well, whatever it is, it's gotta be addressed.
I don't disagree, I'm
No, we
just.
talked about it for a couple of years.
Yeah, probably get rid of the copies and stuff.
Someone's downstairs. Can you reach out and get some estimates?
I can, but the only thing I could say is that, that means we're gonna hold off on another 2 weeks before I can actually call an exterminator and try and get it on the books. But if you are okay with this, that I can get a couple of quotes and send them to you via email and I can get an approval that way, and I'm good with that as long as the select board's all right with that. But ideally, I try not to do that because it's harder with transparency when you're doing things through email. Because then the public doesn't know what's going on.
Didn't we get a figure the first time when we said go ahead? And then it was brought up that it hadn't been done, so we said, well, go ahead and do it, and we still moved on it, so.
Yeah, it was probably just before Nancy.
I have no idea how much it would cost.
I've never paid the house through my gator comes to my home, so I have no idea.
I know it was gonna be, what was it, like about $500 to get the warrants?
Probably, yeah.
It was about 500 for the working people, when we had a warrant, so,
One time.
one time,
Wow.
to go around the whole property. So, no, Michael decided he'd do it.
Are we trying to get
What?
I didn't,
Yes, you did, don't
I
lie.
didn't just.
He almost burned down the garage, though.
AI says it's $100 to $600 for one time.
Look at Artie, he's over there Googling.
Or is it more of a natural,
100 to
I
600.
don't know how interested you're in it, but you could temporarily, it's not gonna get rid of like the nest or anything, probably, is take borax and maybe sprinkle it along the edges of the walls, and then what they'll do is they'll take it, eat it, and bring it back to the nest, and hopefully get rid of them that way. You know, if you take a broom and just kind of sweep it into the corners all around the perimeter, interior wise. I know it's not fun. If you want me to come do
I was
it,
gonna say, so Mary Ann,
I hear you that.
volunteering to do this?
I can do that. I may have to bring a few little ones with me, but yes.
It's an ant year, we have ants.
Yeah.
And it is
it's-
borax, it's not hazardous to humans.
No, it is not.
Same thing with the maca syrup too.
Yes, yes.
Sucks the what's that out of the.
Just bring it around.
No, this is to do with the email,
So you got in on more.
no, I don't have
Karen?
AI. For the website ordeal that you guys spoke about just like before the inside problem, I thought the technology service provider guy there, had that incorporated with the phones. We were supposed to get a website, a business website, the emails, all that stuff, and that was under discussion because it had been mentioned. I remember Maddie's job had come up at that point also, because she was taking care of the website. So I don't know,
Do
I
you have that
didn't,
contract yet?
I never had a copy.
Yeah.
I just had
And
a meeting, minute.
And I did come across something, but it didn't say anything about website through ATS.
So, something we have to look into.
Yeah, I mean, I have looked at the BTS contract, and at no point, or anywhere in that contract did I see anything where it addressed them taking care of the website.
Can we get Maddie to take a little more time on that website?
So the reality of it is, Wix is not designed to do what municipal websites are designed to do. Wix is more designed for small business homeowners, like you wanna sell biscuits in your home, or you wanna, start a small business that you're hoping to grow into a larger business. That's more what Wix is designed for.
So are we
It's
still
very
paying
similar
her to do this?
And she still does stuff on the website. I mean,
Does
when
she?
when the minutes get posted, the agendas
That's
get
all.
posted.
That's generally it.
Well, I can only speak for the month that I've been here,
Right.
but when I need stuff, I just send it to Maddie and I'm like, put this up on the website. The website itself needs a redesign, and there's a lot of stuff that's missing. There's a lot of components for residents that need to be put in. The ability for residents to be able to pay things online is something that can be done, but
We
not
need to
through
be able to
Wix.
find out what
I
the
understand that.
basics are
I-
before we worry about paying online.
No, this is,
Just an
well,
opinion.
yeah, but it's all it's all like a piece of that. Does that make sense? So it's one component of a bigger piece that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is offered through municipal websites that are not being offered right now because of the type of website.
What are we paying on that, for that one website?
I do not remember off the top of my head. We do have a monthly fee that we pay to Wix. I thought it might have been $20, but I'd have to go back in and look.
It's not extreme.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount. There was a one-time fee to set it up, and then there's something that's being paid monthly. It's not a huge expense,
But
but
Maddie's
still.
being paid extra to maintain it, and I don't
And-
feel that she's doing, I mean, I don't know if she's like logging her hours that she's actually on the website and being paid extra for that, or if it's like part of her hourly rate. She's not, in my opinion, putting quality effort into maintaining that page for the public.
I mean, I can't speak for anything beyond when I was here, for
I
sure.
just want to kind of put that
What
out
I'm
there.
telling you now is that I don't think it's in the best interest of this town to maintain what we currently have. I think it is in the best interest of this town and all of the residents that the town moves to a municipal website, which is what most towns have, because of all the features that are offered for the individuals in the town. And in a couple of years, even if it's chosen not to do it now, in a couple of years, the town won't have a choice but to do it because we're gonna be out of compliance with the feds.
Right, I understand that.
And so,
And I believe the only time that Maddie got paid was to set up the website, to put everything all in.
so in the interest of transparency, Maddie got paid up front. She got paid an amount up front to get everything set up, and she gets paid a small stipend on her check, yes. So she does make a small amount.
And
To
I
help
did come
with
in the
that.
other day, and asked her to update some stuff, and she did.
Yeah, and I really think it's just, even I truly think that when the new website comes out, that you need to have somebody who is responsible for doing that, and I cannot take on every task.
And the only other thing I noticed was that the agenda and minutes are on one site, and then the approved minutes are on a different site. But as of April 14th, none of the minutes have gone over.
Right.
But she
Yeah,
felt
and that
that
might
they-
be something that she didn't realize, because like I write the minutes and I put them in the packet. She might not have realized she's supposed to put them out, because they're in the packet. When I think about it, it's like they're in the packet.
Well, she puts them,
So-
she puts them with the agenda, but once they're approved, that's preliminary, they're not approved yet. And then they usually go
Got it.
over into the
So
approved stuff.
maybe what we need to start doing, because we haven't done this since I started here, but we can actually start doing this, well, we can start it next month, is I put the minutes in that you guys make motions and approve every month. It's very easy for me to add lines on there so you guys can sign them, because then you've got documentation that we don't have to be going back to looking at, you don't have to go back and look for amendments and motions where you approved it. You would have an actual minute with signatures on it, and that could be truly put in where the approved minutes go. And it's an easy thing, I add a couple lines to the end of the minute page, and then you just sign it when you approve it. And
So
so,
you just give it your initials.
and then, yeah, I give it to her and she just put it out there. And it's way more, and it's way more formal because it's writing.
So,
All set? Oh, did we decide what we're doing? We're gonna do the borax thing first, so we'll.
well, until you find out what's going on.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
all right,
borax-
so you're gonna come and you're gonna borax for me, and then I'll look
Yeah.
for
I'll
quotes.
call and make the time that's best for everybody.
I can tell you that a lot of utilities do their utility poles with borax. So it does work very well.
Hey, I'm all about saving money, so if it works, I'm good with it, but I just don't, it doesn't
I'll
look
even
good
bring
when
my
I.
own box.
Yeah, yes.
Is it animal safe for cats?
It's everything safe, except for Anson, that type. You remember, those of us that are older, remember the 20 mule team
I am
borax
not that old,
detergent?
although I remember it.
Same exact stuff.
It is.
Except that was maybe had a flowery smell,
Yes.
but it's the same exact stuff.
Very cool, all right, thank you. Thank you for volunteering.
No problem.
Number 7, department heads, highway.
Well, the paving in-town streets are done, the campground, horseback, Hilton Hill done, and they're working on Pisa right now. The shoulders, I've got those all brought up to the hot top, so there's no big lips where you're gonna fall off into the hot top now. I need to go back and harrow them again and keep working them until I get them laid out. But there's no washouts, and it's cost $6,000 so far at $200 an hour for the grader to do what I've done, versus hiring a contractor, and I've got quotes from 2 different contractors with a shoulder box where they push the trucks down the road, and that's over $200,000. So all the comments that are coming out about the shoulders and stuff like that, they need to take in consideration. that we're here to save the town money. I know some people don't think we are, but yes, that's what I'm doing. And I have got compliments from people that I didn't expect I'd get compliments from about how the shoulders have been pulled up and saving the town money. So that's a little tidbit on there. In the driveways, we've got 46 on Campground Road. They'll finish them up tomorrow, and Larry and I'll go look at that other one. Horseback Road's got 82 that we gotta put material in. They're gonna start that as soon as they finish the campground. And all the in-town streets, they've gotta have some gravel, they've gotta have some loam, but they've got an inch to a 2-inch lip. So those, I'll get to them, but they'll be on the back burner until I get the main roads done. Because those up there have more of a lip. And we've gone around already and got rid of the sharpness out of them. And now we're putting the final touch to them to bring them up where they need to take and be. Pump station 3, the sewer pump, that the backflow valve is busted on it. I still haven't got a quote from Stevens Electric. I called them twice, and they said both times they're right out straight, and they will get me the price, but they haven't had time to get it yet. I said, well, just let you know, I'm running on one pump. So, the sooner the better. Other than that, everything's going okay. I do have 3 people that have called for the highway position, and I'd like to run it by you folks, because I'd like to get a date set up when we could hold interviews. I did have another person come in today. Maddie came to me that it took out an application, so I wouldn't be able to do interviews until after the 5th of July, because I'll be on vacation starting Sunday. But anytime after that, if we can get them set up, boy.
So the first meeting in July?
Yeah.
You said after the 5th of July?
Yeah, after the 5th, so.
So the first meeting in July?
We could, but we'd have to plan it sufficiently early to accommodate all the applicants.
I've got
So-
3, I got 3 right now, and possibly the 4th one, so.
So we can absolutely do it before the next meeting, but we'd have to think about timing, so. Because we only did one before, and if we're doing multiples, it's gonna take a little bit more time.
Yeah, whatever that you know, I'm sure that they can come in. We start at 6, so. Probably, well, 4:30.
Are you recommending that we interview all of the ones that have applied?
Yeah.
So right now you're looking at 4?
Yeah, well, the 4th one hasn't come back in yet, but they took the application today, so.
Yeah, so yeah, you probably want to plan for at least a half an hour for applicants, so
Yeah.
you'd be looking at 4, yeah.
Do you want to schedule that on 14?
14th, that's the first one, is that?
That's first selectmen, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So it was 4:30, 5.
Yep. Price of cutting edges, why, I was told that they're going up drastically, so I called 2 outfits, Allied Equipment, HP Fairfield, and last year was $165 for a 3-foot one, and this year it's $275. So I ordered straight blades and whatnot, and a few cut edges, cowboys. So they, hopefully they'll go back down by the time these are worn out. But I just want to let you folks know that price of cut edges and whatnot had took a drastic jump. And like the diesel fuel, I don't know if
I still don't know, I'm still waiting for both. I don't know anything yet. Your cutting edges can't be sharper, or they be on that point.
No, it's when they get a smiley face in them, it don't work no more.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
I already tried Jordan equipment. We just picked up some cutting edges right today that are the same price they were 5 years ago.
Nice. Well, the ones that I just ordered are the same price I paid for last year, so.
Right, I know Jordan equipment is
Yeah.
being very, very competitive.
Yep. Yeah.
Probably they overstock.
Is that anything the county can help with? Because if you get salt, you do salt from the county, right?
Katie called, yeah.
Yeah, is there anything like that the county can do?
In years past, I can buy them cheaper off the dealer themselves, then I can go through the state or Katie called. Because I've checked those two places in years past to see what they have. And I get them cheaper right from one of our places. That's it for me.
Any questions? Thank you. Chief?
Jeremy gave me a message today saying that we're up to 73 calls total right now, 5 in Emden, and right now we're estimated budget for payroll for this coming quarter to come in is going to be around $9,158. That might change a little bit until the actual quarter ends. I probably had $5,000 to $6,000 of bills go out in this last warrant, and right now that doesn't reflect on my budget. Right now it's $185,803.
That's May, that's May.
What's that?
That is May. It doesn't have June's, all June's in there, once you get
This
this.
is June 10th.
No, but it's for the reconciliation for May.
Yes, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so otherwise than that, we're still looking perspective-wise, we're running about average. Otherwise than that, I put in you guys' folder for requests for proposal to upgrade some of our turnout gear. So Jeremy and I was talking, especially we got people that's not interior certified. Some of the new equipment they've come out now is a ladder equipment, but it's not provided, it's not for interior structural people. We've got some older people on the department that has never been interior, so we're trying to look out for them. And this newer equipment has no PFAS in it. Whereas our gear that we had that we purchased a few years back has PFAS in it. So that's our proposal, not to exceed 6,600. I think we've got 4 proposals in there. So right now, the cheapest one, the more realistic one is through IPS, which we do quite a bit of business through. They do all our Scott air tanks, our compressor system for the air. So we're just looking for approval for that. I think it's, the one, supposed to see $6,600. Definitely in my budget, so. Otherwise than that, that's pretty much all I've got. And I also put in you guys' folder, my job description, along with the line officers as well to read through.
Wasn't there didn't Susan Collins get some credit for doing something with that? Putting out, getting funding for suits without PFAS.
I'm not 100% sure.
It was back a while ago, some big federal funding, might be worth checking.
Yeah, I knew there was a big topic about it. There's a lot of fire departments just purchased a lot of gear and it had PFAS in it.
Right,
Anything 3M product with PFAS in it.
right.
So, and
But she got funding, she helped get funding for non-PFAS.
yeah,
And I don't know anything about it, all I know is that statement from her. It might be worth looking, checking her office to see if there's some grants for that. Just what I heard, so.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any grants for that or not through Susan Collins. I haven't seen her put anything out, so.
Right, there was a probably a campaign or promotional something, probably 2 months ago about that. So, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying, I'm just bringing up what I heard. So you're asking for funding, you're asking for approval to buy it, is that what you're doing?
There's a proposal that's gonna come out of my,
Okay,
out of my
okay.
budget, so.
It may be something that we can do retroactive. Maybe buy it. It's worth looking into. Or the next batch.
Well, this,
Or to do away with
it's,
some of the
it's
stuff.
coming, it's
that
coming
we-
due because, there's a lot of my interior people that's got the new gear, that's already getting threadbare, the reflector's getting bad on it. So it will be coming up again.
So to get a grant wouldn't hurt you either way, so.
So I think the last time I bought all the new gear, it was up over 50,000
It's worth looking
with the PFAS in it. I don't know if it would be more expensive without the PFAS, but you know.
Right, or safe. Stuff is safe.
Right?
Okay. Anything else? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm just, was it approved? Just looking for approval to purchase the lightweight stuff and non-PFAS.
Are you going with IPS
Yes.
for 5 sets? And you have it in your budget?
Yes.
So what was the quantity, what was the price?
That was in the proposal that's in there.
Is that the 6335? The first one? No.
66.
Not to exceed 66.
Not to exceed 6,600 on my budget.
So I, 6641 then.
What is that by? I'm not looking at it, I'm just asking you a question. Instead of having you quiet while I figure it out.
It's 5 sets, right?
5 sets, you said?
Coat, pants, and this option. The option is for the flag on the shoulder.
You'd have to approve more than that. If you do it not to exceed 66, it doesn't even cover what's on it. So you would need them to approve more than 66, because your total is 66 and 40. That's what my deputy chief asked for, so
That's
that's
for
why.
the 5 sets, I think, so. So it includes.
Oh, and he only wants 4? Yes. Got it. Okay, yeah.
So, you want to go with just the 66, you want to go with, what would you want
No,
to go with the quantity or
We'll go
instead
with
of?
66, that's what he proposed.
Good. Sharon had her finger up, so.
Huh?
I didn't know whether you.
No, I
Okay.
just want to make sure that the notes, as long as it's in your budget,
So,
I don't see any problem with it, so I make a motion that we give her the go ahead to order these through the IPS services.
Second.
we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So moved, 5-0. Anything else? Town office.
I only have one thing to say. And it all kind of rolls in together, so I'm gonna say this. I came in here letting everybody know that I took this job because I think that I can help this town, and I truly believe in the process that Maine has for transparency and allowing the town to have the say in what is done in their home. What I will tell you in the month that I've been here that is distressing to me is when I put out the first warrants, it was something new to the town. There was a lot of people employees who had never realized that it was something that was required. So the employees were distressed that their names were all over social media. And they're like, it's getting shared everywhere, my name is everywhere. And I was like, Maine has freedom of access laws, and this is why it was done. So in the interest of trying to help them, I was like, we'll try doing a summary. If I have one resident come and ask why it's not there, then they're going back out. So they were added back in to the meeting minutes for, to the meeting agenda for last month. And they are on there for the agenda this month. But it is very difficult to help employees understand how important it is to be transparent with residents and work with residents when they feel so unappreciated and undervalued by comments that are being posted and blasted all over social media. So I understand that this is not my town, and I understand that you are allowed to say whatever you want, but it is a difficult job that they do not have to do for you. They have chosen to be employed in your town. They have chosen to try and assist you with the things that they're doing. None of us are perfect, and I would challenge any member in this town who thinks they are to come and talk to me. Everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes they're glaringly apparent, sometimes they're not. But it makes it very difficult for the employees who are working very hard in this town to try and do right by the residents, to feel like the residents are scraping them over the coals for the job that they're doing for them. And so I would ask, please, as residents, that you just realize that you could have been in that position. You just aren't because you chose to do something else. And think about that when you're posting stuff that might make someone feel really, really bad about the choices that they've made. Because it's a difficult job. Working with people in general is a difficult job. I really love people, and I will tell you and everyone out there, I love people, I love working with people, but people can be horrible, and I am very aware of that.
Are you referring to?
I'm referring to just general comments that I keep getting.
Can you give me a specific?
No, because I don't know any social media. What I get is, I get people who work in this town who come to me and they say, it's really hard because people are saying really nasty things about the town. My comment to them is, stop reading it. You can write whatever you want about me on social media. I'm not going to care because I'm not going to look at it. I don't care what you think. I know I'm doing the best I can. And if you're not happy, then that's for them to decide and them to get rid of me to do. And that's their prerogative.
Well, I monitor
But
that
hold on,
page.
Marianne, please, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
But I can tell you that I have had people who work for this town come to me and tell me it's terrible, the things that they're saying about us. And I'm not going in to look at it. So if you want to know what's being said on social media, go in and take a look.
I monitor it and I don't, I'm
Well, and that's-
not
and
on
that's-
there every day.
And
obviously.
that's great, but all I can tell you is what I'm told. And so all I'm asking is, just like I'm trying to be very transparent about how everything is being done in this town, I'm asking that please residents keep in mind when you're posting things that if it's not something that you would maybe like posted about yourself, then maybe you don't post it.
I can't.
Absolutely.
That, I'm sorry if they were upset about the warrants being posted that they were, but when they were being told incorrectly about what can be posted, because I challenged that, and it was challenged before by the previous person who said, no, these things can't be posted, then that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunately,
Because they've been told wrong information for quite a while.
But Leanne, I will tell you again what I have said before. I cannot speak for anything that happened before me sitting here.
But this is what has happened.
And I get that.
It's
And that's why
unfortunate.
I was very transparent with everyone and I let them know. This is why I put it out there. This is why I pulled it for 1 week to see what would happen, and this is why I put it back. But I'm asking the town in general to understand where they're coming from. That's all I'm asking. Please understand where they're coming from. Because where you're saying they've been fed wrong information, well, they've been fed wrong information for how many years? And now all of a sudden, they're being told, well, guess what? This is this and this is,
And the town has been fed, and the residents have been fed wrong information. for a
and
long
that's,
time.
and ultimately, that's
So-
not okay either. That's not okay either. But
That's where people are coming from, because each time we think, okay, we've got a good one, and then something isn't quite as transparent as
And
we would like.
ultimately, I will say that that's terrible. But I also said, people are terrible.
That is true.
And so,
But I'm not gonna
I
stop
can
people
really.
from voicing their
No,
opinions.
absolutely, and I clearly
Unless
said
it's
that you have the right to say
something
whatever
over
you
the-
want,
The top.
but I'm just asking you, just like I would hope that you would think about these things for yourself, I'm asking you to please understand that we have employees who have worked for this town for a period of time. They're doing the best that they can with the information that they were given, whether it was wrong information or not, it was the information they had at the time. And so for them to feel like they're so unappreciated for what they're doing, that's not okay. It's
They're
really
getting
not.
paid to do the job, that's the
I'm
appreciation.
sorry, but Leanna, please don't be offended, but I would be very offended if people's response to me was, well, you're being paid to do it. I'm sorry, I can do my job and I can be
This is
pleasant with it, or I can do my job and I can be very disrespectful. I'm still being
This is
paid the
true.
same amount. So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. There is all about the way that it's done. And telling someone that you're being paid to do that is very, very disrespectful because they
Well,
are
I'm
not being
sorry.
paid to be nice.
I'm sorry that, I am not, okay, I'm gonna just go with the page. People have a right to say what they need to
They
say.
do.
And what is posted unless it is clear, blatant, over the top, then I go in and I remove it as quickly as I
So-
can. But I can't do it for everybody, and there's more people that actually help with the page than myself.
So Mary Ann, I'm gonna tell you this because you brought up a specific page. I don't know what page you're talking about. I don't know where
Well,
this
it's
is
the
on social
community
media.
page.
And that's great, that is, okay?
That part of it.
I don't go into social media and look up the town of Anson to see what anybody's saying. So I don't know what page it is. I don't care what page it is. I don't even care who's posting it.
Neither do
I am simply asking all of the residents that are sitting in this room and anybody who is watching this video to please understand that this is your town and these employees work for your town. And to please try to be a little courteous because it's a good thing to do.
I agree.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you to go in and delete pages. I'm not asking you to delete posts. I'm not.
Okay.
Because it's the freedom of, we had a whole freedom of access thing about the warrant. I was just trying to get everyone to understand where I'm coming from. My job is to try and make it easier for everybody. And I work with these
I respect that.
people just like I am working for the select board and trying to work for your town.
Thank you.
What's that?
And thank you.
Okay, number 8 is no public hearing. Number 9, items for the public. Seeing none. Number 10, adjourn. All in favor?
It was like so quiet, none of
We are
breath.
adjourned.